The problems in Syria began in 2011 as a peaceful protest but quickly rose into an armed civil conflict which costed the lives of 100,000 people and forced over 2 million to flee to the safety of neighboring countries. This conflict has captured the world's attention because of the tactics employed by the president of Syria, Bashar al-Assad. Unarmed civilians were attacked and killed by government troops as they searched for the most effective and seemingly brutal method for quelling this uprising. Now there are some US politicians who feel that it is the duty of our country to get involved their same military. Unfortunately, 2 wars already found in the past 10 years, there seems to be little to no public support for this type of move. The United States is not the world's policeman and should let countries solve their own problems. Syria is embroiled in a civil conflict that is tearing the country apart, and the use of chemical weapons has made the US, France, and Great Britain, as well as United Nations, to take on the issue with Syria. With the US occupied to its limit military, there is little chance that an armed foreign intervention will take place. The status quo government stays in power and the rebels fight for democracy. If you only think the country's interest and convenience, then we never criticize the European countries. Clear that nations take the refugees do not direct obligations of the present, even within a country, such as the economic crisis and unemployment problems will exist. But as expected, person who lost their life is also the presence of the refugees in these countries, or live and sit by and watch. A few countries in Africa and the Middle East are evident placed on the plight of the poor. Thinking back in Europe and the continent's conflict in history, the result we are facing in the present, which is the responsibility of European countries. Are there any good reasons to justify these actions? Will Europe continue to receive indulgence to give liberty to countries with no responsibilities? Well, it is true that the country was given certain freedoms. It is not actually free because of the war aftermath. Due to the lack of money, the country became a slave to the developed countries. Nevertheless, European countries try to escape from the reality of these disparate refugees. This is not a reason his people simply can be justified to act, dispelling doubt. While it's also important for one nation to profit, you shouldn't neglect human rights. Especially the plight of the refugees who were forced to leave their homes should compel your empathy. It is hard to flee in order to have a better life from the country where there is no longer hope. How desperate it is for those who doesn't have any right to choose for their own country. Issue of serious refugees is no longer a problem or theirs own. Now they're avoiding war and waiting for death on the ground or sea.